As a parent, there are several ways for you to actually access the main course page for a particular class. You can do that under the home page, which will show you the icons for all the individual courses that your student is enrolled in. You can also do that by going up to the drop-down menu here and choosing an individual course from the list that appears. And finally, you can also go and click on what looks like a play button. And then if you have not already done so, it's going to ask you to choose a course. And then from there, when you choose a course, it's going to show you the main page for that course. Some interesting things to look at once you get to a main courses page. There's a lot of information here on the main course. One of the first things that you might look for is the icon here that will show you any active current projects within the course. When you click on that project, it'll give you some type of information regarding the project itself. Plus, it will show you any type of project contents and resources available for that particular project. So you usually will see this in what looks like a folder type file structure. And when you click on the folder, it will show you the contents of that folder. So typically here you'll see not only activities, but also potentially resources necessary for a student to proceed through the project. If you look over to the left-hand side of the main course page, you will see a small kind of table of contents version of this same project contents folder. Plus, you'll also see any other activities that have been recently added to the course that may or may not directly tied to the project. So anything that would show up in the table of contents for the course can be found over here on the left, and then individual projects kind of take center stage for a course on the main page itself. If I go back into that course, you can also see underneath where the active project was, there's an agenda section, and if you aren't currently on a day of the week, I'm on a Sunday, which there's no agenda for that. But if you go and dial in any particular day of the week, you can see the agenda for that particular course for that day, and it gives you an idea of what they covered in the course. This is also accessible under course calendars, which we covered in another tutorial. But this is just another handy way to access the actual agenda. In addition to that, you will also notice that there is a new feature down at the bottom of the page of the course, which is called the course stream. And anytime that work is submitted by a student in the course, there will be an update there in the stream letting you know in that particular course the student has submitted work, and then also any correspondence or feedback from the teacher. It could be in the form of notes, could be in the form of grades, will also show up there. If you wanted to see either the feedback or the actual test type task that the student did work on, or activity that they did work on, you can just click on the link that shows up in the actual feed itself or in the actual stream itself. In addition to that, there is also a section over on the left that we need to discuss particular to an individual course, which is the announcements section. So any announcements from the teacher would show up there under the announcements section on the main courses page. Also, any to-do activities, or like a to-do list, would show up there for that particular course as well. So if a student has an activity in a course that maybe is past due or is upcoming, it would be highlighted there in the to-do section for that particular course, and the student can access that activity just by clicking on it, and it would take them directly to that particular activity that they may have upcoming or may already have been due at some point previous. So it's a handy feature to have access to. In addition to that, another nice feature of the course is that students, when they first go into their course page, can also usually see at the top, in between the main icon for the course and the title of the course, a circle which will show their actual current average for that course, highlighted there without having to actually go into the gradebook. Of course, the gradebook is much more full-featured and detailed and gives you a breakdown of how that score is achieved, but we'll cover that in another tutorial. But that basically highlights all the information related to a main courses page. Thank you.